deadline quickly approaching in the fire recovery effort, but why many homeowners with property lost in the destruction are ignoring it.
And a shift in local leadership. Local Malibu residents petitioned to remove 2 city council members due to their handling of the Woolsey Fire.
And in the path of polar vortex, as parts of the country experience brutal cold, the impact being felt here at home.
News at 5 starts now.
News, weather, and sports. Live from Malibu, this is NewsWaves 32.
A critical point in the Woolsey Fire cleanup effort is days away, but many residents are not responding. Good evening, I'm John Michael Raasch.
And I'm Josie Lionetti. Welcome to this Tuesday night edition of NewsWaves. For fire victims, it is time to decide how to clear their properties. NewsWaves reporter Emily Tenser joins us live with the details and the cost of not responding. Emily?
Thank you, Josie. The deadline for fire debris removal is only 2 days away, but so far only 30% of structures damaged by the Woolsey Fire are signed up. I spoke with one Malibu resident who has an idea on why that number is so low.
People are still, they're in the dark. They do not know what's the best option. Cal Recycle says, well, they're free, but still they cost your insurance. But if you take out the foundation and you can keep it, that's not free because that costs you later.
In the next 2 days, residents have the option to opt in for free debris removal by Cal Recycle or opt out, leaving the cleanup up to the owner's expense. Whatever option Woolsey Fire victims choose, they have to submit their decision by Thursday. Demolitions already started yesterday in some areas, and some have even hired their own private cleanup company. Residents can get in-person debris removal assistance at Malibu City Hall or at the Debris Removal Operations Center on Agora Road in Calabasas. The deadline for debris removal was set by LA County all the way back in November. The county wants all burnt property to be cleared out by March 15th or there will be costly consequences. Along with debris removal, deadlines are also looming for FEMA grants and home and business loans. So far, FEMA has approved almost 7,000 applicants, giving more than $48.7 million in aid to the Woolsey and Camp Fire victims. Residents and business owners can apply for aid from the U.S. Small Business Administration, which offers loans up to $40,000 to replace personal property and vehicles. So just a reminder, guys, only 2 more days left to apply for those grants or opt in or opt out of fire debris removal. LA County says that if fire debris is not removed by March 15th, it will be removed at the owner's expense, which could cost $100,000 or more. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Emily. In response to angry residents, the Malibu City Council is hiring an outside expert to review how the city handled the Woolsey Fire. NewsWaves reporter Araceli Crescencio has more about the details and why the move might be the start of an effort to get some members of City Council out of office.
Residents angry at the City Council's response following the Woolsey Fire are demanding action.
People continue to have no problem going on Nextdoor or any other social media site, writing anything that they want.
A recall petition drive against 2 city council members is in the works, and a petition to remove city manager Reva Feldman on change.org already has 4,000 signatures. Last night, the city council unanimously voted to hire an independent expert to evaluate the city's response to the Woolsey Fire tragedy and to have a closed session meeting in February to evaluate Feldman's performance. Peak, one of the members of the possible recall, proposed the item.
I would like to see, I'd like to add an item to a city council agenda that would consider hiring an independent investigator to evaluate the city's performance in managing the Woolsey Fire.
But Councilman Rick Mullen, another member of the possible recall, voiced concerns about the terminology.
I think when you say investigation, it sounds like there's something that needs to be investigated.
Peak believes this is the best way to go forward.
Part of those tools for us moving forward involve the city evaluating Reva's performance.
Newly appointed City Council members Karen Farrer and Mikey Pearson will be in charge of finding an outside expert to review how the city and its city manager handled the emergency.
Also with City Council, Malibu is considering adding a new inside staff member in case of another fire.
We suggested adding a position. I'm hoping to get somebody who has a background in firefighting, perhaps a retired firefighter, who could do things that have been suggested, like set up fire brigades in our neighborhoods.
At last night's City Council meeting, the city manager put forth an official recommendation for creating a fire liaison position. Though the position will prepare residents for another fire, finding funding for the position is City Council's next challenge.
The Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District is asking the community for help in planning future learning spaces. A meeting will be held tomorrow night at Webster Elementary here in Malibu to discuss the updating of campuses, buildings, and classrooms. The meeting will involve creating a master list of requirements for outdoor and indoor spaces. The meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m. and last for 2 hours.
And after being down for several hours earlier today, the Malibu City website is back up. The website malibucity.org was down since around 11 a.m. this morning. In a tweet, the city said that it is due to a server outage. In the same statement, they said if you need anything in the meantime, call City Hall at 310-456-2489. However, around 4 o'clock today, the website was back up and running. Brutal, bitter cold is bringing dangerous conditions to the Midwest that are being felt here at home.
Hannah joins us early with the details on the polar vortex.
The Midwest is experiencing a polar vortex like never before. A polar vortex is a series of intense winds surrounding a cold area of Arctic air. Some areas, including Minneapolis and Chicago, are experiencing temperatures colder than current temperatures in Mount Everest, Siberia, and Antarctica. With the wind chill, temperatures in areas of the Midwest will be as cold as -60 degrees tomorrow, where going outside for more than 5 minutes will result in frostbite. This has students from the Midwest studying at Pepperdine worried.
My mom's nervous about how cold it's going to get. She is in property management, so she has to snowplow all the roads and everything.
I've heard that this polar vortex actually is more intense than like the last couple years and even the last couple decades, and so it's concerning just because of how cold it is and how people can't really go outside.
Most high schools and universities in the Midwest are closed tomorrow as it is extremely unsafe to be outside in these conditions. This is the coldest the Midwest has been in over 100 years. Thankfully, it is not that cold here in Malibu, but rain is expected later this week. I'll be back with your full forecast in about 5 minutes. Back to you, Josie, at the desk.
Thank you, Hannah. Travelers here in LA are feeling the effects of those below freezing temperatures in the Midwest. Flyers heading out of LAX were being advised today to plan ahead and ensure their flights are on time. As of late this morning, there were 24 cancellations of flights in and out of LAX and 54 delays reported. According to FlightAware, more than 7,700 flights have been delayed nationally.
The race for the White House is on as more and more candidates are launching their campaign for the 2020 election.
NewsWaves reporter Lily Spiritos is here with who is running and who the country is still waiting for to announce their bids.
The upcoming election looks like it could be one of the most diverse ones yet. So far, we have 4 female Democratic candidates, including Kamala Harris, Kirsten Gillibrand, Elizabeth Warren, and Tulsi Gabbard. In addition to the females, the 2020 election is already breaking records with most candidates ever who identify as non-white or LGBT. Senator Kamala Harris formally announced her campaign this past weekend and recently explained what kind of leadership she thinks America needs.
The vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And we need leadership in this country that recognizes that and understands that, and also understands it is against who we are as Americans in terms of our values and in terms of what we aspire to be to ever fuel that kind of division in our country.
Today, former Republican Senator Jeff Flake announced he will not launch a campaign against President Trump. Flake was expected as a possible candidate since he actively criticizes the president. Former Democrat Vice President Joe Biden today said he is in no hurry to announce his campaign, and he is still deciding if he will actually run at all.
So great to see so many women that are going to be running. As a woman myself, I love to see that. And also curious to see if Joe Biden will announce or not.
This seems like a super exciting election.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2020 is a little further away, but you know, in that time to come, many candidates to be announced.
Absolutely.
We'll see who else.
It is still January.
Yeah, who else puts in their hat.
Well,
thank you so
Lily.
much.
Thank you.
A fiery meeting in Calabasas. Why residents affected by the Woolsey Fire say the city failed them, and the push to better during future disasters.
And reaction pouring in after the star of a popular TV show was attacked. The horrific details of the possible hate crime.
And supermodels subpoenaed. Why Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and more are being called to give up information.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you! She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
How about the hand?
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Gas prices in LA County dropped to their lowest prices today since last year. In Los Angeles, a gallon of gas is only $3.28. The average price has dropped a total of 3 cents over the past 6 days. 3 cents total during the past 6 days, which makes it reaching just below $3.28. Gas prices are even lower in Orange County at $3.42 a gallon.
We are getting some added convenience with the openings of 2 new stores in Santa Monica. Target and Tesla have both announced plans to open locations in Santa Monica, but have not yet filed applications with the city. A company spokesperson confirmed Target is looking to open at 420 Broadway in downtown Santa Monica, possibly by next year. There are also talks of Tesla opening a supercharger station on Santa Monica Boulevard. Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeted the station will feature an old-school drive-in and rock restaurant. So I've heard we have a little bit of rain on the way. What can you tell us about what we can expect with the weather here in Malibu?
Yeah, the rain is coming back, colder days too. We're just expecting a lot of precipitation and possible mudslides again too. So we're looking for, we just have to stay cautious during the rain. Grab your umbrellas and rain boots because the rainy days are coming back to Malibu. Precipitation is expected to begin late tomorrow night and continue through early next week. The worst part of the rain is expected for Saturday, and possible mudslides could result. Before the rain hits, the surfing conditions are expected to be between weak and moderate today and tomorrow. Currently, waves are between 1 and 3 feet. We will be seeing high tides tonight at 6:30 and again at 5:30 tomorrow morning. The fire risk in Malibu is low today. It is currently 66 degrees and could drop as low as 52 this evening. There are partial cloudy skies with a chance of local gusty winds this evening. The humidity is high at 80%. Looking at our neighboring cities, we see that the trend is toward warmer temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Aurora Hills is currently 70 degrees, Thousand Oaks at a similar 68 degrees, Calabasas at a warmer 73 degrees, and Santa Monica at a cooler 66 degrees. But as the week continues, Malibu is expected to cool down, with likely rain expected coming into the weekend. Tomorrow will be partially cloudy skies with a high of 67 and a low of 54. Thursday brings possible thunderstorms with a high of 61 and a low of 52. As the weekend approaches, Malibu continues to be hit with moderate rainfall as temperatures reach the upper 50s and lower 60s. Friday will be a high of 62 and a low of 54. And Saturday will be a high of 60 and a low of 51.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be absolutely frigid after the sun that we had just last week. It got up to 80 degrees, and now it's going to be pouring on us until Monday, it seems.
Not excited for it.
We had all those sunny days, and the rain is back, so.
Yeah, I don't think I enjoyed the sun enough, and now it's going to start raining already.
Yeah, we're really going to miss it, especially here in Malibu when we're used to the sun and everything, right?
Well, thank you so much.
Calabasas residents were
not shy to call out city officials last night on how they failed to communicate with citizens during the Woolsey Fire. NewsWaves reporter Christian Parham has more on what citizens want Calabasas to do differently for future disasters.
Well, let me ask, folks, do you think you got good communication? Yes or no? No. No? Okay. So, we're the ones who are impacted by it the most.
Packed and frustrated house at Calabasas City Hall last night as residents laid out their concerns about how first responders and city officials handled the Woolsey Fire.
It was very, very difficult for anybody to find out what was happening. We were getting updates once a day on Facebook.
One major complaint was about the lack of communication between officials and citizens about what was happening with the fire. Many citizens took to the podium to address confusion about whether the evacuation orders were mandatory or not.
And so it wasn't clear whether the mandatory evacuation order was just sort of a knee-jerk city decision, like to err on the side of caution, which I totally get, or whether it was actually a decision being driven by fire personnel.
But I noticed that there wasn't really a plan to evacuate a lot of people.
City officials reminded citizens that evacuation orders are given by LA County Fire Department, not the city itself.
For this type of disaster, it really takes the whole community to come together, neighbors being neighbors, helping us.
City leaders reminded that the best way to ensure effective communication between citizens and first responders during future disasters is to sign up for emergency alerts, and that they are listening and hearing residents' concerns.
I will look into that. Thank you very much for sharing that with me.
Christian Parham, NewsWaves 32.
getting ready for the Pats-Rams showdown.
The kickoff to Sunday's big game, how Brady and Belichick and McKay and Goff are preparing.
Super deals for the Super Bowl, the food and drink specials you want to cash in on this week.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
So we're here, we're getting the rundown from Jacob. Jacob, we know that the Super Bowl is this weekend. We got some big sporting events on deck. What's going on in the sports world?
So it's going to be our local LA Rams versus the New England Patriots, where we'll have Tom Brady and Bill Belichick versus the Los Angeles Rams, Sean McVay and Jared Goff. It's going to be a battle of experience versus youth, and we'll see how the Rams do. Last night's Super Bowl opening night continued to build anticipation for the big showdown Sunday.
What sort of advice would you give this guy as he gets ready to take on the big bad Patriots?
I'm not giving him any advice.
Last night in Atlanta, Brady's teammate, Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, said he is not sure if Super Bowl 53 will be his final NFL game. Battling constant injuries, the star tight end has not been healthy for an entire 16-game season since his second year. Meanwhile, Rams receiver Brandon Cooks is paying for a Rams janitor and his son to attend the game. Cooks wants to show his gratitude to everyone in the organization. Los Angeles is getting into the Super Bowl spirit with an overload of blue and yellow in honor of the Rams. The iconic Randy's Donut Shop in Inglewood got a golden glaze. They painted their 33-foot donut sign in yellow and declared the shop LA Rams Donuts. The legendary hot dog stand Pink's added a special blue and gold double chili cheese bacon hot dog to their menu and decked everything from the storefront to employees' uniforms in Rams colors. The Los Angeles Clippers lost to the Atlanta Hawks last night here at home. The Hawks' victory was their first against the Clippers since 2016. The Hawks' 123-118 victory snapped the Clippers' 3-game winning streak. The Hawks opened up a 16-point lead midway through the fourth quarter. The Clippers, however, fought back to cut the lead to only 6, but a three-pointer from Hawks point guard Trae Young ended the Clippers' comeback. The Clippers will play against the Lakers on Thursday.
Well, as someone in LA, I'm not excited to see the Clippers losing. Upset about that, but super excited to be watching the LA Rams playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and I think all of LA is super excited with that the donut and that hot dog.
Oh my gosh, that hot dog, what was it, a double bacon chili cheese
It's a heart attack on the plate.
Oh my goodness, but
Would
I
you eat
need
that?
one. Oh, of course I need one. It looks delicious.
And we'll have to maybe eat it during the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, no, we could get
perfect.
we could get some for the Super Bowl this weekend. That'd be fantastic.
Pink's Hot Dogs,
Thank you
cater
so
us,
much.
please.
Of course,
Appreciate
guys.
that.
Thank you.
A horrific attack. Supports of popular TV show are calling it despicable and outrageous. Details of the incident that might be racially motivated. A new dining option pulls into town. The actual restaurant is still months away from opening, but how you can already eat at this hotspot.
Stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good stir. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Around the Town Tuesdays, where we show you what's new in Malibu. From street side to rooftop, today we get a taste of our new restaurant that opened in an unconventional way right here along PCH. This father-son duo has a passion for food and is getting an upgrade this summer. Nicholas Finucci and his son Lucas opened their new business, Nicholas Eatery, 6 weeks ago. Currently, they are serving out of a food truck parked in front of their new location in Malibu Sands. Their building is still under construction while they wait for the required permits. However, it will eventually include indoor seating and a rooftop patio in its design. Nicholas and Lucas are hoping to open their full restaurant before the summer begins.
I just like to see people happy when they're eating our food. I think that's the best part. It's the most fulfilling part. You just see people enjoying what we created. So it's great.
Malibu locals have already been dropping in to see what the food truck offers, and they are happy with the results. They said their goal was to bring fresh, organic food to Malibu in a casual restaurant setting. The eatery's menu includes breakfast, lunch, and a special Super Bowl menu for the parties this weekend. And good news for Pepperdine students, Nicholas Eatery is offering a 15% discount to those who drop by. So visit anytime from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Tuesday through Sunday, and be on the lookout for their grand opening later this year.
Well, I'm certainly excited to be eating there. I can't wait for them to open.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Yeah, I have a friend that lives right there, and she said the food truck food is really good. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, in other entertainment news, I heard something not so savory happen today. Can you fill us in about it?
Yes, pretty tragic events unfolded this morning. Empire actor Josie was attacked Tuesday morning in what Chicago police say may have been a hate crime. Jussie Smollett, police say two attackers poured an unknown substance on Smollett as they yelled racist and homophobic slurs. The attackers also placed a rope around his neck before fleeing the scene. Authorities say Smollett received medical attention at Northwestern Hospital and is recovering well. Reactions to the attack are pouring in on Twitter from many who support Smollett. Actress Viola Davis tweeted, "This is why the LGBTQ community continues to fight to be seen and protected against hate." Gabrielle Union said, "The homophobic, racist hate crime against him and hate crimes against countless others cannot stand." Actor Michael B. Jordan tweeted that he is sending Smollett light and love. And good news for Black Panther fans this week. The Oscar contender is making a return to the big screen for free in honor of Black History Month. Select AMC theaters will offer 2 free showings a day of Black Panther from February 1st to the 7th. This announcement comes after the film's big win at the Screen Actors Guild Awards for outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. You can catch a screening at AMC Thousand Oaks 14. A federal judge has delivered a ruling on the models involved in the infamous failed Fire Festival. Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and Emily Ratajkowski are just some of the supermodels who could be subpoenaed for their involvement in the festival. The models were paid a total of $5.3 million to appear in promo videos for the event. The models are believed to be a big reason for the festival's success. Promoter Billy McFarland is in prison serving a 6-year sentence after pleading guilty to multiple counts of fraud. So this is back in the news after a break when it happened last year, and people are really starting to talk about it with these new
we were just talking about the documentary before the show, and are you guys surprised that those models were subpoenaed? I don't know. How do you guys think about that?
Well, obviously, if they were subpoenaed, they have some information on this horrible disaster that was the Fire Festival. And so hopefully, being subpoenaed will help them get to the bottom of it, shed some light on the situation, and hopefully find a resolution.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
A crossing guard with a warm heart is braving the polar vortex to make sure kids are safe.
So nice to see you. Goodbye. Have a nice evening, my dear lady.
Despite well below freezing temps in Des Moines, Iowa, 80-year-old Glenn Peterson is not taking any days off from his crossing guard job. Peterson says living in the area his whole life has conditioned him for being ready to be outside on this job. It is expected to be 5 degrees below in Des Moines tomorrow. And that sounds absolutely freezing. I don't even know what 5 below feels like.
I can't imagine that. Well, he's doing a great job. That'll do it for us tonight.
Have a great night, and we'll be back on Thursday.